All right, so let's briefly talk about what's going on and why many people believe that there's something else that's fishy about the rest of this year heading into the elections, especially because we're in an era for which a lot of people are divided, whether you want to say left and right-leaning and Republican, Democrat, if you want to say conspiracy, the Great Awakening, this movement of people recognizing good versus evil. There's so many things happening and you can put yourself in many camps, but the point is that it's very much different than what it was in 2015, 2019, 2020, leading up to the election, before Trump, and all of what happened with Obama and everything before that. And then now, from 2016, especially as Trump got elected, you had the Q stuff, you had conspiracy stuff, you had the Great Awakening with the elites and people talking about all these things happening behind closed doors. And then now you have the Diddy stuff, the Hollywood stuff. Trump is polling better in many places, and it just sounds so odd. And people are recognizing the attacks from the media. You can recognize bias. A lot of people are either growing to be conservative. I've read recently about all these kids now going against this woke agenda. Everybody from streamers and Gen Z video gamers all the way down to their favorite celebrities and all these people that have been following certain people and they've switched. Yesterday I talked about the video of a lot of celebrities now turning and going against Biden and towards Trump. And so I'm saying this because I'm in a group that I call, from a previous video, Audience 3, because I have researched what it means where we are in some state of devolution, an alternate sort of reality, so to speak, where it involves Q, it involves the movement that has been demonized. A lot of the media will call it QAnon, but this whole movement of why the detailed level of military type knowledge has been brought forth early so that you could see that there's some kind of plan that we are on. And I say all of this because as I was sitting here today, I recognize that there are people that really, truly are not going to get away with evil. Because whether you believe in all the pedophilia stuff, all the behind the scenes, crazy sacrifice type conspiracy, or they just simply committed treason. And treason to the level of they sold themselves out for a different government. All of that, you have to really think about how detrimental that is. It requires, and as Trump and many people have alluded to, the death penalty. If you are for the Constitution, especially if you are an elected official and you are selling yourself out to a different entity that is not of the people, then you are committing a crime that is of the highest order. And don't think that these people are just going to get away with it. They've been planning, the good people, they've been planning for a very long time from a multifaceted, multi-pronged approach and attack on how to take down these people, but also to get many of us to wake up so that we can recognize it. So this is why there's a two-stage attack that I've proposed and I've talked about before. One is allow the normacy of how people think there's going to be an election. People are being convinced, there's polling, and people think, oh, we want Trump back. And to this group, which is group one, and in some sense group two, these people are being targeted by a reality that exists because it's showing you that, oh, 2024 and beyond is going to be another 4 years of an actual election. But really, what happened was that back in 2020, when the election was stolen, some measures were implemented because it was a crime, right? So whether it was continuity of government in the PEDS, with the executive orders, the devolution stuff, the military being in some state of control, or the Space Force, all these things that people talk about on Twitter as being this Q conspiracy, or this Trump being the commander-in-chief, and just other things like Biden being a mass figure, all these things are playing out behind the scenes such that it would not disrupt the operation from the mainland front, which is to awaken the people and to catch the people that are at grassroots level and sort of the mid-level managers, the people that are not the top dogs, for which they already caught and maybe tried and sent to Guantanamo Bay, who knows, or maybe they have an ankle monitor, they've taken deals, they're cooperating, they're just acting out their role for the rest of the time before they get a lesser sentence. So whatever that is, there's something that's bigger than what is being projected on TV and what the news says. Oh, it's just another election that's happening, 2024. Because remember, there's a multi-pronged attack in targeting each of the groups, Audience 1, Audience 2, and Audience 3. So Trump and Dan Scavino and many guys, the military, in fact, they are continually dropping comms, continuously making deltas, talking back to Q and other drops, and they are speaking to Audience 3 through signs and symbols and different coded messages to reassure us that the end is near and that they will be prosecuted, that these people will go down for their crimes, but we have to catch them in the act. We have to get the details. We have to prove it. And eventually that, to some degree, will come out. Maybe not all of it, but enough such that the people will know. And so whatever is going to happen before this quote-unquote election, we have to find out. As the World War III narrative and these things build up, there's still a messy operation to clean up things because there's real evil happening in the world, whether it's harvesting kids' organs and crazy things like that, or the drug stuff, developing bioweapons, the next COVID 2.0, whatever that is, and all of the Israel stuff, all of the Ukraine stuff, all of the different war stuff. Remember, certain countries like Russia will be demonized by the world, but they will be used as an agent to clean house and to do good in a sense. And I put it in quotes because people from the Western world will not believe that because the media has so brainwashed people into thinking that Putin and these guys are doing evil things. But really, they're doing good things that are being twisted as being evil. Same with when, quote unquote, we, as in the Americans, the US government had to go to Iraq and Afghanistan and find these Saddam Hussein weapons of mass destruction and the nuclear stuff and all that, which didn't turn out to be true. And who knows if Osama bin Laden was really captured and died, or if he was some CIA agent, whatever that is. That from our perspective, from the Western perspective, that was seen as being good, right? But then from the other perspective, if you want to say the CIA, the Mossad, the MI3, from that perspective, it doesn't look good because they're trying to control the world. And this is what's being brought forth to the world. From everything from the Julian Assange admissions, the Snowden stuff, all of that stuff is being brought forth because there was such an evil that existed for a very long time, and it has to be cleaned out. The three-letter agencies, the government, the wickedness that has happened to asserting dominance of the U.S. through evil means that have infiltrated this government to then control the population of not only the U.S., but the world. So realize that this is being brought back to the people, and then once they are awakened to it, they digest it, they understand it, they're going to call for righteousness. They're going to call for good leaders like Trump and many others to step up and say, we need a clean house. We have to establish law and order from a godly perspective, and then we need to release ourselves from other countries that we have a stronghold on. So this is what's happening now, guys, that you are slow. If you haven't woken up yet, you are slowly being introduced to this, but to other people who have dug deep in this stuff, they're still trying to awaken you and give you encouragement along the way. It was not like these 3 years have been wasted and there was nothing going on. There was something that was happening, but along the way, people just had to be brought into the fold. That's why this movement is not dying. This Q stuff, this conspiracy stuff, this continuity of government, all over Twitter, you have people like as big as Elon Musk tweeting about all this stuff, and people are like, you're just a crazy conspiracy theorist. And other people waking up and saying, yes, there's something else going on. It's a little bit fishy. It looks like there's a facade of a reality on this side saying, oh, there's a 2024 election. And even within that construct, it seems a little fishy because you have Biden, you have all these people. It's not a normal season for an election. People are all rallying behind Trump. People are all doing this thing with Biden. And it's just very odd. It's very obvious. Like it was a movie theater. Like it was an actual acted, scripted thing, which it is, but people don't know that, but they have to do it and exaggerate it to such a degree that when they see it, they wake up to it. So this is what's happening on this side, but then on this side, something else behind the scenes is happening. And so that's why you have so many people doing Q drops and deltas and decoding things and talking about what may be the possibility. But those that tell you that, oh, this is what's really happening, they're lying to you because the military operation that's actually happening, they swore an oath, the secrecy to this, such that in order for this to succeed successfully, such that the enemies don't understand the tactics and find out what's really going on, they have to allow disinformation, they have to allow some sort of chaos to happen, but also reassure us and allow us to see the progress that's being made. So people may not see the progress. They may write it off as conspiracy, like, oh, people have already been tried at Guantanamo Bay or whatever that is. They have to make it seem like it's crazy talk so that they can continue the operation uninterrupted. So this is what's happening, guys. So I want to just lay that out there. I've talked about it in several videos a few months ago, talking about why people believe Trump is still commander-in-chief and why people believe that Biden is wearing a mask and he's a doppelganger and he's maybe already executed or he's in some prison somewhere, whatever that is. It sounds like conspiracy crazy talk, but for the sake of the future of the world and to get power back, give it to the people, this has to happen. And somebody drafted this up in a military room with all the strategists and saying, how do we take back America? Because evil is so ingrained in all facets of society. So we have to take this back. And they've been working on this plan for a very long time. So be encouraged. Lots happening. Again, we may not be privy to seeing all of it ever, but as we know more and as Trump and many others continually bring things out, right? Even the Diddy stuff is a bombshell with regards to what the allegations are. And more is coming out. It's not going away. Like, it's not like from 2020, all those crazy people. It's that more people have woken up. More of this crazy conspiracy talk has been coming to light. And the conspiracy theories have become conspiracy reality. So this is where we are right now. More is coming into the summer. It's a rough ride, but all will be good as 2024, 2025 approaches and many other things. So I question this election talk and all that. Maybe things will happen soon for which we will see the restoration and the admission of what 2020 was, a stolen election, and many other things. Love you guys. God bless you. Get ready. Talk to you guys very soon.